Okay, we're talking about bringing the deer closer to the house. Well, there's the house, and this corn stubble here, this field, and that's the blacktop runs right up there. Those cedars are across the road, so every car that comes is pretty exposed. Has a just great view of my farm here. But along the road here is the last 4.5 acres of just, I won't say wasted, but it's could be deer habitat, and it's not. I've been putting it in crops because I had a arrangement with a farmer. He was kind of helping me with food plots, and it was just convenient. But it's not something we need to continue on with, and we're going to do beans again this spring, and that'll be the last actual crops I have on here. It'll be, with coming back in behind beans, it's basically a clean slate, you know, for frost seeding my fresh switchgrass, or, you know, whatever kind of plantings I'm going to do. So that's the plan. After the beans come in this coming year, this is all going to be definitely some switchgrass and some plantings, maybe add some food, but I've got 2.5 acres of food in that back corner there. So the plan isn't set, but kind of throwing around ideas. But anyway, as part of that, what I am doing this year is creating some movement with a trail. This kind of comes out behind the pond dam. I actually have a stand set up there already, but I'm going to move it over to this cherry tree, the way this is going to set up. But all along this northern edge of my timber, it's a really hard edge, as you can see. A lot of just gnarly locust trees. I've already was starting to kill some of those, kill some and drop some, but really need to soften up this edge by taking out a lot of these locust trees. And then I've created this trail that goes, it's probably at least 300 yards, but it winds back up through there, basically goes back up to the house, and it goes behind my lagoon dam, you know, a little pond dam basically. And there's deer that travel there. It's right behind the house, but deer travel through there. So we're going to encourage it. And it keeps me from diving in to the property. And, you know, spooking deer. I've got a stand down in here that, man, it's risky, but if you get in there with the right wind and thermals, it can be magical, but it's risky. And I think I know I have spooked some deer that I probably didn't want to spook by diving in there. The stand will stay there, but we'll bring it out and, you know, maybe only hunt that stand once a year. But all along this trail, I'm gonna burn. I've got it now that I've cleared this trail. I've got a fire break, and I'm gonna burn everything from this little road I've made out to the edge, and then kill all these locusts. There's some oaks in here. I'm not gonna kill everything, but a lot of what you see between the road and the field out there is these just gnarly locusts. And I know the deer will feed on those beans. It's, you know, very specific times of the year, deep snow or whatever, but I have no shortage of locust trees on this farm. But I mean, look at that. I poked myself 3 or 4 times yesterday just trying to, you know, chainsaw a ring around them. And it was pretty brutal. But I'm gonna go ahead and do some more, and I've got this, I'm gonna burn this from the road up to the edge all the way down. I'm gonna go around some of these cedar trees so they don't start a huge inferno. And some of these edge cedar trees are actually providing pretty good cover. So we're gonna let them ride and kind of burn around them. I've got fire breaks and strategic spots. There's one. I just gotta go up there with the blower and blow it through. But this trail leads all the way up to the house. I think it's an old logging trail that was here. I just had to clean it up and clear it off. A few mock scrapes, maybe one down by the house, and then another one back there by that stand set up behind the pond dam. But rut activity in through here, you know, behind this pond dam, all down in here. It's crazy in the rut. A lot of fun. But that's the project we're working on now. I'm gonna try to bring the deer out to the edges more. Easier access for hunting and less pressure on the farm. And this is one of the projects we got going at the home farm this season. We also have the Blackwater River farm, the new farm, and I got a lot of work I want to do on it. I've got 350 trees coming. They'll be here in a couple weeks. I got to get all those planted. So a lot going on here. Whitetail dimension. But I honestly love doing this kind of stuff. Look at that locust tree. I mean, they're just covered with 6-inch thorns. But got to do what we got to do. So all these locust trees along this edge, some of them I'm cutting and dropping them, but most of them I'm just cutting a ring around them like that. They'll die this year. They won't put on any green leaves, and it's not a total loss because eventually these thorns will fall off. I can come back in here next year at this time and start dropping them, cutting them up for firewood to heat the shop. And you know, that actually locust burns pretty decent green, but you give it a year or two to cure out, even standing dead like that, and it's good firewood. All right, well, I think it's burn time. I think I finally have the conditions I want. I would like it to be a little less wind, but I think it's fine, and I've got good fire break in place. But I'm gonna start off with this little section. I've got it broke up into like 4 sections of this little bits of timber, and then another big acre or so of just grass and stuff over there I want to burn, and possibly this strip of old screening here. So we'll see how it goes, see how it's burning, but gonna do it. Let's start it. This is will be a back burn. See how it goes, and then I may go up on the other end and light it where the wind will be blowing it this way. So see how she goes here. Okay, it's I have a full back burn. In other words, the full width of it is basically burning back into the wind. So it's doing pretty good, just how I want it. You hear those coyotes?